Let's see what lies are coming out of the commander in depth, commander in chief's mouth today about Venezuela. Let's see what he's talking about.
A war of words leading to an escalation in the air, at sea, and now, potentially, on land.
By land is a lot easier, and that's going to start happening. And we're not going to have people destroying our youth, destroying our families. Thinking about youth.
We are not going to have people destroying our youth and destroying our families. Meanwhile, he is getting rid of Medicaid. He wants to get rid of Medicare. He stopped SNAP benefits in the month of November for almost the whole month before people got food to eat. He's basically stripping health care. He wants to take away the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, which is going to leave millions of Americans without health insurance. January the 1st, 2026, health care premiums are going to go out the roof, 4 or 5 times as much. So, for instance, if your family was paying $300 a month for your health care, just rough number, not exact. Let's say if you're paying $350 a month, in January of 2026, your health care, those same premiums are probably going to go up to $1,800 a month or more. All right, so, but he don't want illegal drugs. That's a lie. Coming in this country, hurting our families and hurting children. Okay, I hear you.
Everybody. But it's not only land strikes on Venezuela, it's land strikes on horrible people.
Land strikes on horrible people. Well, if that's the case, can we get a infrastructure strike on the White House? Because there's horrible people in the White House. You're one of them. So can we get some type of a surgical strike on the White House? Because there's horrible people there. Horrible people, evil people. I mean, I'm just saying, if you can call someone horrible, got to look yourself in the mirror. You and all your cronies standing behind you.
That are breaking in drugs and killing our people.
In the past few months,
release the Epstein files. Stop the distractions.
The United States has carried out attacks on dozens of vessels it says are smuggling illegal drugs from Venezuela towards U.S. shores. And on Wednesday, U.S. forces...
Just a note. I Googled how far is it to travel by boat, just like a boat like that, from Venezuela to shores of the United States, to coast of the United States. It's roughly, depending on how you come from Venezuela to the United States, roughly about 1,700 miles to roughly 2,200 miles, 2,300 miles, depending on how you come, okay? So you're going to tell me a little small boat like that, supposedly carrying all these narcotics, which is just basically fishing boats, are going to make it to the United States. And most of those had outboard motors. You know how many times they would have to stop just to get fuel, refuel? And also, that's what the Coast Guard is for. If you have an issue with that, all you have to do is tell the Coast Guard, we got a lot of these boats coming from Venezuela, Colombia. They're bringing narcotics. If you see them, you have the right to stop them, board them, search them. And if you do find they're loaded with narcotics, you can arrest the people, arrest them, cuff them, bring them back to the United States, due process, put them in jail, and then try them, and try them in court. So it is what it is. Lies, maybe, lies.
Forces seized a Venezuelan oil tanker, claiming the ship and its crew were involved in illicit oil shipping.
Oh, so now we're Somalian pirates. Now the United States is pirates. They're in international waters seizing oil tankers. Whether it's Venezuelan or whoever's oil tanker, they're seizing oil tankers. You better hope it ain't China's oil tanker or something China bought. Because, China and Russia are in Venezuela doing business with they're providing them military equipment, hardware, they provide them, resources. So You better hope it ain't one of China's oil tankers on its way to China. That'll be fun.
Whether it's narcotics or oil, Washington blames Nicolas Maduro, saying he and his associates are profiteering through illegal channels. The Venezuelan president denies any involvement and says the allegations are baseless.
Nuestra rebeldía histórica.
Our historic rebelliousness, the deep fusion of that rebelliousness that some in the world still don't understand, because we are who we are, and because their formula of lies, pressure, blackmail and threats, it does not work with us. It does not work and it never will.
If we do go to war with Venezuela, can I go on FanDuel or whatever, the DraftKings or whatever the bet site? Can I put my money on Venezuela? Huh? Can I put my money on Venezuela? Because that's going to be jungle warfare. And they have some highly trained special forces in Venezuela. They might not be as big as the United States. Well, but they got some special forces, bro. No, in them jungles, yeah. I want to see a bunch of U.S. kids, poor kids out here, 18, 19, 20 years old, the basic infantry, Marine, Army infantry, or Marine, going to these jungles. It's going to be Vietnam 2.0 all over again. Sad to say.
One person who says Maduro's days are numbered is opposition leader Maria Corina Machado.
Machado is an Israeli plant. She's a Zionist plant. That's all this is. That's why Trump wants to get Maduro out and put her in, because, that's why she gave her Nobel Peace Prize to Trump. Come on, just follow the crumbs, follow the Reese's Pieces, the ET all the way back home. You'll find out.
She spoke to media in Oslo, where she received this year's Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
What I can tell you is that Maduro's regime is in its final days. It will come to an end with or without negotiation.
This is a CIA move, just like in Vietnam, or anywhere that they want to topple regimes and put in their own puppet. This is all CIA shit. Come on.
It's in Maduro's best interest for it to be through negotiations. At this point, he must be very clear about that, and there are probably actors who do not want him to do so or will not let him do so.
With America deploying naval forces throughout the Caribbean Sea and Venezuela conducting military drills, both countries increasingly appear to be heading towards conflict.
Let me explain something. China and Russia are providing Venezuela with military equipment, advisors, and I'm sure they have missile defense systems there. Probably Chinese and Russian, especially Chinese technology. That 7th Fleet out there is going to be a sitting duck. So don't think just because you look here, the biggest dog on the block, just because you're the biggest dog don't mean that little dog ain't going to give you a fight. What's going to happen is a whole lot of mothers and fathers in this country are going to lose a whole lot of sons and daughters in this stupid fucking shit once it goes down. There's going to be a lot of American bloodshed on the soil of Venezuela. Believe me, a lot. And it's going to be very horrific and horrible. And you can be, and y'all think this Trump administration and the stupidity of Trump, Hegseth, and these white Christian nationalists, we want to take over the world, pieces of crap in the Trump administration for that. I'm just saying, it's going to happen.
Imran Allah Khan, Al Jazeera.
Don't miss out and get the...
Yeah, this is not going to go well if it does come to fruition, and I don't see any way of diverting this from right now, because Trump is stupid. Trump has no knowledge of being a president. He doesn't know what it is to be a president. He has people around him that are stupid, from his Department of Justice to Department of Homeland Security to Secretary of War, to his people whispering in his ear. People are they do not know what's going on. They have fired the majority of their top military brass that know shit strategy of war. negative vibe. See, this is, remember, in Trump's first term, he wanted to do all this shit militarily, right? He wanted to do this, but he had people, legitimate experts and people in the military and people in the Department of Justice said, dude, you can't do that. So that's why when he got back in this term, he just went out and hired a bunch of, Pete Hegseth, Fox News hosts, Christy Nome, Gabbard and stupid ass Stephen Miller and, Bannon and, and all these people, yes men around him that know shit, has no experience. And this is what it's come to, right? It's stupidity. And stupidity is going to get America's ass fucked up. The whole world, we have, another thing, let's not forget this. We have no allies. NATO is not going to come help us anymore. We're on this on our own. It's going to be United States against Venezuela. They're not going to get help from the Royal Air Force from Britain. They're not going to get help from fucking Germany. They're not going to get help from South Korea. They're not going to get help from Australia, England, UK, none of that shit. NATO is not going to be fucking with the United States anymore. Any wars we go into from this day forward, whether it's Venezuela, we're on our own. The world is against America. America is doomed. America's military will be defeated. I don't care how much high-tech fucking MQ-9 drones and fucking surveillance and high-tech ships and all that, but I don't care. And then eventually Russia and China is going to get involved in this shit. Because Russia and China is currently shaking hands with Venezuela right now and have operatives in Venezuela, especially Russia. If you don't believe me, just Google it. This is not going to go well. Trump, do you think Trump care? He don't care. Don't give a fuck if your 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old son lays dying with a bullet in his fucking head in the jungles of Venezuela. He don't care if your daughter is shot and killed or blown up on a Navy support ship somewhere by a fucking missile that's been provided by China to Venezuelan high-tech missile systems. So shit, they don't give a fuck if your daughter dies, your daughters die. They don't give a fuck. You could be at Mar-a-Lago partying and shit on our taxpayer money. Still lying, still sitting there, still lying. You don't give a fuck. Just run up the national deficit, another 4 or 5 trillion before it's all over with, and fuck it. Let's go down. Go down with the ship. Piece of shit, bro. How can y'all, in your heart, whoever voted for this motherfucker, why? How could you honestly go in that booth last year in November and circle Donald Trump's name? How? I'm not talking about his fucking diehard MAGA shithead cultist. I'm talking about the people that were Republican, conservative, black Trump supporters, Latino Trump supporters that went in and voted for this mug. How, Sway? Everything that happens from here on out is blood. Whoever loses their son and daughter, blood's on your hand because you had a part in this. We could have had the beautiful black educated black woman Kamala. We could have been smooth now, trying to give everybody health care, giving people $25,000 for their first home. Jobs have been up, nice, been real cool with NATO, with the world, everybody's in love with us. But no, it's what y'all wanted. So you made your bed, y'all fucking sleep in it.